I'm gonna make Flappy Bird support RTX, also known as ray tracing. But firstly, we need to make Flappy Bird. I will use Unreal Engine to make Flappy Bird because the engine has ray tracing feature available in 4.22 and later versions. Let's start with making a new project and creating a bird. Firstly, I want to make a simple prototype, so I will use a sphere as a bird's model for now. Let's add special camera component, place the bird in a world and enable physics. In the original game, a player controls the bird by tapping on a screen. I'm gonna implement the same behavior by simply adding a force to the bird. Works like a charm. The next thing we need is an obstacle. Let's just use a couple of scaled cubes with a hole in between and place the obstacle on a map. Now let's make the bird move. However, usually in such infinite games, it is easier to make a player static and move all the obstacles instead. So let's make just that. It works just fine, however we need many obstacles. To be exact, infinite amount. So I added a box trigger in obstacle class and made a script to spawn new obstacle and delete the old one when the bird overlaps that trigger. Basically, at this moment we already have a working prototype. So let's get rid of the sphere and add a real bird model. I usually use free marketplace models in my videos, and this video is not an exception. I have this beautiful bird with glide and fly animations. Firstly, I made a simple animation machine with only one state, so the bird is gliding by default and uses its wings when player presses spacebar to control the bird. But it is looking really bad, so I changed it to always fly without gliding, and yeah, it is still really bad. So I decided to rotate bird's model, depends on current velocity. Alright, I fixed it and now we have pretty cool animations. It is kind of rough when the bird is flying up though. The finishing touch here is to make two animation states, depends on current speed, and make it a bit smoother. Now, if there was no input for a long time, the bird will start gliding. So yeah, I really like it. However, the obstacles are just exactly the same as each other. This is something really easy to fix using constructor script. It is called every time an object gets spawned. So I need to adjust z value and that's it. Now we can move on to a new beautiful map. I got this amazing buildings pack from Unreal Marketplace. It has fully customizable city blocks, so for my background I'm gonna spawn several blocks just like obstacles and move them towards the player. Once they moved outside the camera view, I will destroy the block and spawn a new one. Well, let's create new background actor and add several city blocks as components. After that, I made pretty simple script to move all the components in a player's direction. Placed the background in a level for testing and something went really wrong. The thing is, we should mark all the components as movable objects, because, well, we are going to move them. After the fix, all works fine, except my FPS. And well, couple of other things, but it is not the problem. The problem is frame rate. I don't know why I did think that move the whole city is a good idea, but it actually isn't. Eventually, I decided to scrap all the things I did and start over. The bird now can actually fly forward instead of staying in place. My FPS is fine now, and I started to implement roofs. Roofs will actually replace the bottom border in the original game. I made a few variations and scripted their spawn, just like I did for obstacles. They actually don't move, but they still get spawned once the bird overlaps with special roof trigger. So this is how it looks in the game. And this is how it looks in special simulation mode. Right after that, I implemented background spawning absolutely the same way. Moreover, we can even have multi-layered background with more than one building row. Also, I updated visuals of pipes. They still move though. Anyway, this is a test run that revealed some movement bugs, which I'm going to fix right now. Yeah, I fixed movement and now I wanna improve the camera a bit, to make it more immersive I think. I played with the camera, achieving some weird results, but finally I found something that suits me. So here is one more test run on a new map. Pretty sick. And after that, I set up 4 layers of background buildings. The smallest are located near to the player, the large ones are quite far. I found out the problem though. Spawning one city block is just fine, but spawning city block for every layer is a really heavy operation. So I was forced to merge every city block into single static mesh to improve performance. So I can flex with my 100 FPS now. Anyway, I also added just a bit more variety to my roofs and pipes. And we can watch this pretty sick simulation of endless bird flight. And even take a look from player's point of view. So yeah, we're almost done, but we still can't lose the game. I'm gonna add a special collision channel for that purpose. Make the bird's collision sphere block that new channel and make obstacles and roofs to be that new channel. Works fine, but let's make it a bit more realistic. Here is a bird death animation and we also need a new animation machine state. I played with all the parameters a bit, but this is the best result I achieved. Not gonna lie, looks not really cool. However, I have an idea to slow the time when game is over. So yeah, it is actually looking much better now. Let's add some post-process effects and make a widget to display player's high score with some cool animation of course. Here is a script to save and load high score. Here is a final death screen. Looks pretty sick. I also added a possibility to restart the game simply by pressing spacebar. We have some small features left to be added, such as score widget, disabling physics on a start until a player actually presses spacebar, and also music. But what about RTX? I have quite old GTX 1060, but it still supports ray tracing with appropriate NVIDIA drivers. Yeah, this is why RTX is a really bad idea with low-end graphics card. However, I promised Flappy Bird with RTX, so here is Flappy Bird with RTX. Quite interesting thing here is that Unreal Physics depends on frame rate by default. It can be changed, but whatever. Let's just disable RTX and play with good FPS. I will upload the game in the next couple of days, so if you want to check it out, link in the description. If you wanna support me, now you can do it with Patreon. If you wish to support me in my work, you will get an access to source files of my projects and other perks as a warm thank you. You can find a link to my Patreon in the description. If you wanna ask me anything or looking for some insight, you can follow me on Twitter or join our Discord community. Once again, all the links in the description. I guess that's about it, so I wanna thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.